there is a killer on the loose, an XRP killer. So lock your doors, hide your kids, hide your wife. Look at this headline. How could you not be terrified? This is from the Crypto Basic. XRP killer, ? Which is why my voice goes up like this. Google to launch GCUL chain targeting financial institutions. So here's what's going to go on. Here's how this is going down. I'm going to spend the first part of this video rightfully mocking every instance over like roughly the last decade where there have been articles touting something as the quote-unquote XRP killer or the Ripple killer, because articles throughout the years have conflated Ripple with XRP, even though they're talking about the same thing. It's just over and over and over again. Every new thing that comes out that's trying to do something either fintech related or with foreign exchange transactions, it's the XRP killer. Well, how come XRP isn't the killer of that thing? Let me throw it back at you. How come the XRP's the one getting killed? That doesn't make any damn sense up in this bitch. What are you even talking about? And then I'm going to rip this whole concept to shreds. Because what they're talking about right here, what Google is launching, is not an XRP killer. Is not an XRP killer. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Oh, let's let the fun begin. Look at this headline. This is from February 19th. 2019. Folks, this has been happening a long time. Look at this. The return of crypto decorum. JPM coin, the XRP killer. That's right, JP Morgan coin, the XRP killer. And I'm not going to read through all of this, but this is a walled garden right here. So it would be a closed ecosystem utilizing an asset that can't even be purchased on an exchange. It's not for sale. It's just something tokenized and used within a closed network. Not even close to the same concept as a decentralized cryptocurrency like XRP, but it's the XRP killer, even though it's not even the same. It's not even the same category. Talk about a different type of animal. Here's another one, February 16th, 2019 from Cointelegraph. Ordinary stablecoin or XRP killer? What we know about JP Morgan Chase's new cryptocurrency. Here's another one, July 16th of 2019. PayPal fires up Ripple killer Zoom app for international payments. So there's another one. With all this, so I'm sure, given all these headlines, surely by now, because that was 2019, it's now 2025, surely XRP is dead, right? I mean, with all of this, it must be dead by now. It's been 6 freaking years. XRP's got to be dead. Should I send flowers? Is it too late? A donation to some sort of good cause? I mean, it's got to be dead by now, right? And then we had this. This is from Bitcoin maximalist Anthony Pompliano. This is from January 9th, 2021. Oh, I remember covering this on my YouTube channel at the time. So he shared this video clip. That's Jack Mallers in the hoodie right there. And he's creating a company that was engaging in foreign exchange transactions called Strike. But instead of starting with appropriate technology that can handle what he was trying to achieve, he started with the worst technology possible. He started, I mean, what a technology stack of crap. You start with Bitcoin, which is technologically the worst cryptocurrency ever created. It just is because it was the first, so it just is the worst. And then you have Lightning Network, which has obviously never taken off. I think that thing's pretty much dead. You've had some transactions that are successful on a smaller scale, but in terms of like large scale adoption, come on, guys. So that's the tech stack he decided to work with when he knew full well when he started developing that son of a bitch that there's technology that actually could do what he wanted, that would allow him to do what he wanted to do. He didn't use it though because he's a toxic Bitcoin maxi. So it's not about the best technology for the job. It's about Bitcoin because reasons, folks. And so Anthony Pompliano showed this. It was basically a tech demo of a transaction utilizing the Lightning Network. And Anthony said, "I continue to say it. Jack Mallers has built what will be one of the most valuable companies in the world. Money sent anywhere globally in seconds and for free. LFG, let's fucking go." So it's funny how he thought that XRP was crap for years leading up to that point, and there's no need for this because reasons, of course. But then the second that somebody like Jack Mallers comes along and tries to do what Ripple was doing, now it makes all the sense in the world. Might you be biased? I'm thinking the answer is yes. Former Ripple employee Matt Hamilton responded to that, and he said, "How is this any different to what Chris Larson was demoing 7 to 8 years ago with Ripple and XRP?" It's not. He basically, what he had in 2021 was a glorified tech demo when Ripple had been live utilizing XRP at scale for years at that point. It's just hilarious. So that was, but anyway, that's another one that was touted as an XRP killer, so I thought I'd mention it. Here's another one. This is from July 29, 2021. Central Bank's MCBDC initiative and XRP killer. Why no crypto YouTubers talk about this MCBDC? Well, I talk about everything that's a quote-unquote XRP killer, and I rip to shreds because it's all stupid nonsense and it makes me laugh. Here's another one. This is from 6 years ago from Bitcoinist. Big banks announce fiat-pegged XRP killer crypto for settlements. Do you see how it doesn't stop, folks? There's always a new XRP killer. Here's another one. The Ripple killer. IBM in talks with two major banks to create cryptocurrencies, and that's from CCN. Here's another one. This is from Finance Feeds. Ripple lurks as R3 and Finality, also known as XRP killer, power new FX swaps platform. Here's another one from Cryptopolitan, and this is from earlier this year, March 21st. It's still happening. Mutum Finance, I don't know how to pronounce that. Why it's considered a fiercer XRP killer than Polygon. So it's still do you see how many years have passed? And now they keep saying, this is the XRP killer. No, that's the XRP killer. No, that one's the XRP killer. Is any of these sons of bitches going to actually kill XRP, or will they just shut the hell up about it? Because so far, absolutely not. Here's another one from April of this year. Circle wants its USDC payments network to be the Ripple killer. I wasn't kidding, folks. It doesn't stop, and I laugh, I roll my eyes every time I see this crap, and it's usually some mix of the same types of reasons that none of these are going to kill XRP. So what's going on with this one? It's Google, right? So that should be extra scary. I mean, it's Google, your company. No, it is not scary. Check this out. Google is preparing to launch its new blockchain, GCUL, and some in the industry already describe it as a possible rival to the XRP ledger. The project, called Google Cloud Universal Ledger, so of course GCUL for short, is still in private testing, but Google plans a commercial launch in 2026, notably due to some similarities with XRP's technology for payments and settlement. Speculation has emerged that it could challenge XRP's role in the financial sector. Oh, could it? Look, even if Google finds success with this, and maybe they will to whatever degree, maybe they do, not an XRP killer. GCUL from Google, it's a permissioned private blockchain. It's a different thing. So it's basically is a walled garden where only select banks and financial institutions can participate. That setup makes it useful for very specific and internal settlement tasks, but it also guarantees it can't replace XRP as a bridge currency in Ripple payments. It just can't. In fact, GCUL doesn't even have a native cryptocurrency attached to the blockchain. It doesn't exist. There is no cryptocurrency here. Instead, assets will be tokenized on the permission blockchain. Very different structure. Nothing wrong with them if they want to achieve this. I wish them well, and maybe they will find success. It is not the same thing, though. And the first problem is reach. Cross-border payments involve a long tail of smaller banks and remittance firms and payment providers around the entire damn planet. A closed network like GCUL can't onboard all of them because it requires approval and access. I mean, XRP, by contrast, it runs on a public permissionless ledger. Couldn't be more different. A public permissionless ledger that anyone can use. And so, that open access is what makes it effective across so many different corridors. And the second issue is liquidity. I already told you there is no token on this thing, right? Well, inside GCUL, every institution issues its own tokenized assets. And you know what that does, right? That fragments liquidity. It's in separate tokens. They're like tiny little individual silos. XRP, on the other hand, it's one single, neutral, and fungible asset that trades globally on open markets 24/7, 365, bitch. That means Ripple payments can source liquidity in real time wherever it's needed. GCUL doesn't have that option because it has no native token. It has no open market price discovery. In fact, walled gardens like GCUL can benefit from XRP. Why? Because XRP can be used as a bridge currency to connect this walled garden to any other walled garden. Duh. So even if there in the future are a number of well-adopted and successful walled gardens, they're never going to take over the whole world. You're never going to have a walled garden that starts and then every person and business and entity that transact anything of value on a global scale then just gets sucked into that walled garden. That's not how this works. You're going to have competing forces that start their own walled gardens, and they're not going to speak the same language and interoperate. So then you can use XRP in those instances to connect the fragmented walled gardens. Duh. It's a different use case. It's not to say they can't get traction, but it is to say it's a different animal. It's a different approach. And, there is going to be there's no one size fits all. And it's not the case that XRP is going to get 100% market share either. But it's not an XRP killer. For sure it is not. And then there's the problem of jurisdiction. Moving money across borders, it's never just a technical challenge. It's regulatory. It's about currency controls. It's about trust between different systems. GCUL will run into walls whenever one leg of a transaction falls outside its closed environment, which in practice will be most of the time. Now, XRP, on the other hand, it avoids that by being a global, neutral settlement layer. It isn't tied to a single country or company, and it doesn't require every participant to join the same private network. You will never get every participant on the planet to join into a private network. It's never going to happen. You're just going to end up with a bunch of different walled gardens, and then you have to connect them all. That's what's actually going to happen here. And that leads to the biggest point of all, which is trust. Financial institutions may not be eager to put Google in the middle of their settlement infrastructure. A so-called neutral platform that's centrally controlled, no matter who's controlling it, it's not because of Google, but no matter who's controlling it, it's never truly neutral. But the XRP ledger, on the other hand, it is decentralized. So if that matters to you, then guess what's not a solution? So as far as the XRP ledger, no one owns it, no one controls it, and that neutrality is exactly what makes it viable as a bridge currency. So even if GCUL succeeds in pilots with big names like CME, scaling it to thousands of institutions and corridors worldwide, it will still be a huge uphill battle, frankly. Ripple payments can already operate globally because XRP Ledger is live, it's open, it's permissionless literally right now, and it has been for a very long time, over a decade. So when people call GCUL an XRP killer, add it to the pile, boy. Just add it to the pile of stupid articles that have claimed that other things were XRP killers because they're missing the freaking point. GCUL may be a useful back office tool for banks, but it doesn't solve the problems that XRP was built to address. And by the way, XRP, it's not just about bridging fiat currencies either, obviously. I shouldn't even have to say this, but unless you're new to crypto, in which case I'm happy to let you know, welcome to the party. But it has other use cases in tokenization, DeFi, NFTs, and micropayments. And so, to be clear, XRP's success is not dependent on competing with walled gardens like GCUL. In fact, walled gardens create, in a way, opportunity because they still need to be connected with one another. So look, the bottom line is that GCUL